cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast, the citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Farron. It is an imposing fortress kept in strict isolation from the intrigues that occasionally plague the rest of the Forgotten Realms. It is secluded, highly regimented, and it is home. Within these hallowed halls of knowledge, your story begins. You have spent most of your 20 years of life within this keep's austere walls, under the tutelage of the sage Gorion. Acting as your father, he has raised you on 1,000 tales of heroes and monsters, lovers and infidels, battles and tragedies. However, one story was always left untold, that of your true heritage. You have been told that you are an orphan, but your past is largely unknown. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You have asked about his concerns as gently as possible, but your queries have been in vain. Your sole comfort is the knowledge that he is a wise man, and you know he will tell you when the time is right. Nonetheless, his silence is troubling, and you cannot help but feel that something is terribly wrong. Today, Gorion has appeared more agitated than ever, and now he has uncharacteristically interrupted your chores in the middle of the day, imparting hurried instructions for you to equip yourself for travel. He has handed you what gold he can spare, but given no clue as to why. Nevertheless, you now stand before the Candlekeep Inn, ready to purchase what you need for an unplanned and unexpected journey.
Hello and welcome. This is our first playthrough for the Baldur's Gate. This is our warrior. This is Atian Redjoy. Right now we are starting as a level 1 character. We see that he has a base THAC0 of 20. That means 2 hit armor class 0. And he's got only 1 attack per round. This is pretty much because he is relatively untrained in weapons, and he has a quarterstaff, which he's not trained in. We see a bunch of ability bonuses, a lot that we're not going to go into right this moment. If you're interested in more details about the fighter, I encourage you to check out my fighter starter guide. So our goal is to do a couple of chores all around Candlekeep in order to get a little bit of experience. If you're playing with experience, you don't necessarily need to do all of these things, but it's nice to also pick up a couple of key items to start your game off. It's always a good idea to get like potions of healing and a little bit extra gold here and there, and a couple of hidden items that will really help you out. So we're going to go ahead and bounce all around Candlekeep and do some errands. First person we want to talk to is Flydia. Flydia
Hello there.
has lost her book. We're going to go try to find it. Now we're going to go over to the cow pens. She left her book there, and we're going to meet Dreppen. Dreppen is the cowherd, and he says, yep,
What do you need?
book's here. Go grab it, and then chat with me after you grab it. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're good at following directions.
What do you need?
And his cow is sick, Nessa, and she needs an antidote. So we're going to go walk around Candlekeep, and maybe if we come across an antidote, we'll give it back to him. So next guy we're going to talk to is Jondalar. Jondalar is going to give a couple of basics of combat. If you've never played before, it's really nice to do this. This does not give any experience, though, so there's no huge benefit to doing it, but no harm in it. The basics of it is that if a character has a red circle underneath them, that means they're an enemy. If they have a blue circle underneath them, that means they're neutral. That means they're not going to do anything. You can chat with them. You can have other stuff with them. And then if you have a green circle, that means that you are... That means that is your character. They were doing 0 damage to me, so, you know, goes to show that this is good training. And I hit him with the stick, and he says, good job at hitting me with the stick. So now we're going to talk to Revor. Revor wants us to kill some rats. So we're going to hit them with the stick. And this time, we will kill them. It's weird. There's like 2 cats in here, 2 or 3 cats in here, and they're just hanging out. Like, you'd think the cats would be interested in the rats, but no, I guess not. Just takes our level 1 fighter swinging a stick, trying to hit the rats. The rat's trying to hit us with its zero chance of harming us. So we kill the 5 rats in there, and we get a whopping 5 gold out of it. It's so polite. So now next guy we're gonna talk to is we're gonna talk to Hull. Hull is the guard at the gate, and he's a little bit hungover, and he left his sword behind. He's probably drinking because they were celebrating Gorion living, because I don't know, they're
Our rules
or something like that.
are very strict.
This is the gate warden. Gate warden is going to make sure that offers us some training in how to manage a group, but I'm going to pass on that today. When we do our rogue walkthrough, we might give that a try. If you're ever interested in learning more mechanics about the game, talk to these guys in the green robes. They'll be able to give a lot of advice about like different mechanics of the game to kind of guide you through. We're going to talk to the priest of Ogma here.
These walls contain the world's knowledge.
Ask for some healing, and he's just going to give us a healing potion. So now let's go and walk to the bunkhouse. My character doesn't really have any specific reason to go to the bunkhouse except for a little bit of experience, as you will see.
I have a blade
with your name on it. Carbos is asking if we're Gorion's little whelp. Huh, sounds friendly. We're going to, we can give a number of different responses. We are his kid, if that's what he means. Or we could say, that's me. Do I know you? And he says, no, I'm the guy who's going to try to kill you. So we're going to hit him with the stick. We're going to hit him with the stick really, really hard. Eventually. And the tough thing about level 1 fights, there's a lot of this. Swing. A lot of these attacks are cosmetic, to be fair. But, there we go. So we're going to pick up his dagger. We could sell that for some gold.
Not a problem.
And we're going to talk to Karan. Karan freaks out.
Something on your mind?
He says he heard shouting. And he said, well, listen, you prepared me as best you could, but I still killed the person. Oh, we're too young for experiencing this. Is there really anybody that's like too young for murder? Well, it was a murder. We defended ourselves, so not quite the same.
It will be done.
All right, this is the barracks. No, we're not going to turn ourselves in. We're going to talk to Fuller.
I should have joined the army.
Fuller is going to ask ask what we're doing here. We're going to see if there's any errands we can run. He wants us to get some bolts. I think it's a quarrel of bolts. And we also are going to go there and pick up the antidote for Nessa the cow and Hull's longsword. Let's go over, chat with Hull. Now, Hull and a few other characters are going to give us kind of impolite responses back, right? And that's because our charisma is not great. Our charisma is only 10, right? Which actually is just middle of the road, right? It's not even that bad. But characters will respond differently if you have a better charisma. So if you have like a 17 or 18, they'll give you a better reward. Drepin's not going to give us a reward. He's just going to make us feel good. Kind of like an unpaid internship.
Hello?
And who's this? This is Shank. And he is asking if we are Gorion's ward. We are. And who are you? He says, my name's Shank, and I'm going to kill you. But we're going to hit him with the stick. That's way more successful. By the way, as a mechanical note, if you click on this button with the magnifying glass, it highlights all of the containers in an area. We're going to avoid one of the containers because it's locked, and I don't really want to get in trouble. Candlekeep's pretty strict about stealing, so don't steal in Candlekeep. Karan's going to check if we're okay. We obviously got scratched by the cat in our flawless victory. And he says, I didn't realize we had a cat in there.
With ease.
Better check. Goes right back in, and we don't hear the scream from the dead body that he found.
Hello there.
Flydia has her book now, and she gives us a little gem for it, and some experience points. They're good for the heart. All right, so
Not a problem.
in the end, first guy we're going to talk to is Firebeat Elven Hair. We're going to
So
chat with
hard
him.
to find
He is
decent folk
asking us
nowadays.
to find and bring him back an identify scroll that he let Tetoril borrow. Next guy we're talking to is Winthrop.
My hotel's
Winthrop
as
is the guy
clean as an elven
guy who
arse.
says that there's a $10,000 book fee. That's a joke. He's being funny. He's being a funny guy. Even though we've heard it before. He's cool, though. He's the guy that serves us alcohol. We can't be angry with him. He also lets us rest here if we're interested in resting. We're not going to rest right now because we don't really need it. We're a fighter after all, and fighters don't really need to rest. We're going to sell all of the little doodads we picked up, a box of Cracker Jacks. We're going to go and buy some stuff. First off, we're going to buy bolts. These are mostly going to be used for Fuller, because we're going to give them to Fuller. But we notice we don't have quite enough money to get ourselves a crossbow at the moment. But we are going to buy ourselves some armor. We're going to buy ourselves a shield. And ideally, we're also going to get ourselves a longsword. We're going to also want to eventually get a second longsword, but right now we're just about broke. So what do you do when you're broke? Well, first off, you put on your armor, and then you go around smashing stuff. That's right. We're going to hit containers until they tell us what we need to have.
It will be done.
We're going to use the stick, because in the early game at least, your weapons can break, especially your metal ones, because the area is under what's called an iron crisis, and that's not good.
I
Having a
stand ready
broken weapon in
with
the middle of
ease.
combat really is terrible. So we're going to go, and we're going to
It
open
will
up
be
these
done.
containers. If they're locked, we will beat it until its morale concedes, and that we get its stuff inside. I'm going to beat this one open. And there's actually a potion here. This potion's pretty good, actually. It is a special. It prevents feeble mind, confusion, fear, and charm. Very, very useful.
Yes? It will be
Especially
done.
for certain areas of the game where that would pretty much be a death sentence. We're going to try cracking this open, and we fail. We're going to try cracking it open. Oh, that's a tough nut to crack. Oh, man. Can't open it. It's just too strong. No chests in here, and the chest down below, I'm sure the guy will get a little bit upset if we start beating his chest open.
Not a problem.
So, now we have
My
we have what we
hotel's
need
as
in
clean
order
as
to
an
buy-
elven arse.
in order to buy our crossbow. I do want to keep this potion, though, so we're going to hold on to it, even though it could net us some pretty pennies. But this should be enough to buy a heavy crossbow. And do that. And we are also going to get the additional longsword because that's a good idea. And now it's time to do the rest of our errands. Normally, I would not be showing all of these little additional details like the inventory and walking from place to place all over the screen, but for this video and the next video, I'm going to do that.
Not a problem.
Just so I can kind of show you guys the pace of the game. But I will speed things along by having like little edits and cuts to get us through from place to place later on in the game. This will make it easier to watch.
It will be done.
Chat with Fuller.
I should have joined the army.
He gives us 10 gold pieces. If we had a better charisma, he would give us a magic knife.
It will be done.
Well, okay, it's a +1 knife. Let's not go overboard, okay? It's not like that cool knife that dude has in Vox Machina. I mean, the teleports right back to the owner. That's cool. So now we're gonna find Tetril.
Greetings, young one.
He's gonna give us the identify scroll. We're gonna go back into the inn. We're gonna spend our
Not a
hard-earned
problem.
cash first.
My hotel's as clean as an elven arse.
We're gonna particularly buy the actual ammunition for our crossbow, actual bolts for our own crossbow. Can never have enough crossbow bolts, but we're also going to get arrows. We're going to get arrows because one of the early companions that we pick up is going to use bow and arrow and doesn't carry enough arrows themselves. So why not pick up extra arrows? One other thing we need to do.
I stand ready. It will be done.
Atian switches automatically to a melee weapon. Just to prevent that, what we're going to do is we're going to switch the script to not favor melee or ranged weapons. This gives a lot of AI standard use attacks or standard use behaviors. This is going to help us kind of manage our characters throughout the game, so we're not going to have to micromanage every little detail.
Ease.
It's hard to find
Turn the
decent
scroll.
folk
He
nowadays.
protects us from evil for all of like 2 hours. In game time, that's practically nothing.
Not a problem.
So at this point, we're going to follow Tetroil back, accidentally follow one back, to finally meet up with Gorion, because I think we're set to go. If you hold down Shift and click where you want the character to go, it will create a little path.
It's me, Emmowen.
And this, of course, is Emmowen. Emmowen's our best friend, right? And she's kind of shocked that Gorion's letting you go on a journey. And she asks, do you know where you're going? And you say, I'm not really sure. We can be rude, but there's no really point. You wouldn't be rude to your best friend, right? So she asks, she gives that kind of like, oh, I wish I could go. And there's really no way that Gorion would let you go. Even it would be awesome if you did, best buddy, oh chum, oh pal. And at this point, now is a good stopping point. Next time, we're going to leave Candlekeep behind us, and we will start to explore the wider world of Faerun and go into Baldur's Gate. Hopefully we won't die right away. Maybe Gorion might tell us more secrets. Maybe he will. Or maybe something will happen to him. We don't know. But that'll be all for today. Take care and good luck. We're all counting on you.